from Lekhapora Online. Welcome to another video. This is part 4 of types of questions found in Ielts reading audio. So in my previous videos, I have already discussed multiple choice, short answers, completing sentences, notes, tables, summary, labeling diagrams, choosing headings, and true, false, not given questions. And in today's video, I'll give you a detailed overview about flowchart completion and identifying writer's claims. And we're going to solve some example questions, and I hope this video is going to give you a better idea of how to approach these kinds of questions. Okay, let's get started. So, flowchart completion. So it's very simple. You're going to be given a flowchart. So this flowchart will have either blanks or incomplete sentences, and you would need to complete the whole thing. So a flowchart basically is a set of instructions, and it might or might not have arrows, so that the arrows basically help you understand the order. So you should be able to locate information and choose appropriate words from the text passage, and you should use the direction of the arrows to understand the order of the information and fill up the sentences accordingly. And you should also check the number of words you can use for each answer. Okay, so this is a sample question. As you can see, there are 21 to 27, so there are 7 blanks over here. And the instructions here says that you cannot use more than 2 words, so you have to use either 1 word or 2 words. So make sure you read your instructions carefully before you start answering. And this is basically the full question. We won't have the time to solve this whole question, so we're only going to be solving 21 and 22. Okay, so this is part of the passage, and you can pause the video right now and go through this passage and try to find the answer. So before that, you can go ahead and actually try to highlight the key points of these 2 questions so that you know what to look for when you're reading the passage. So over here, the first one, candidates go online to complete their dash. So this basically is something related to going online to complete something. So keep that in mind, something related to online that the candidates need to complete. And the second one says suitable candidates are then invited to come to a dash. So for 22, you need to look for something that the candidates are invited to. So keep these 2 points in your mind when you're reading the text. So go ahead and pause the video and read the text. If you're done reading the text, then let's proceed. So for the first paragraph, if you read the first paragraph, you'll notice that it doesn't really relate to the points that we highlighted earlier. So for now, let's skip this part and move on to the second paragraph. So it says, after you submit your initial application online, the Kheya HR services team review the details you have provided. So again, the points we highlighted were something that they had to submit, the candidates had to submit online, and something that somewhere the candidates were invited. So this actually is related to our first point, because the candidates need to submit their initial application online. So let's keep that in mind when we answer the question, okay? The next slide says, candidates whose details closely match the requirements of the position are then contacted via email advising that their application has progressed to the next stage of the recruitment process. So far it's not related just yet to our highlighted points. Let's keep reading. Potential candidates are then asked to attend a walk-in day. So again, our second highlighted point was somewhere the candidates were actually invited to a specific event or something like that. So this actually is related to our second point, where they say that they are asked to attend a walk-in day. So if I highlight the key points here, then it will be about the initial application online and the fact that they need to attend a walk-in day if they are selected. So when we're answering this question, candidates go online to complete their dash. So after you read this line, you know that the candidates go online to submit their initial application online. So over here, you're allowed to use no more than 2 words. So you can either write application or initial application. Either will be correct. Okay. The next one, suitable candidates are then invited to come to a dash. So we read earlier that potential candidates are asked to attend a walk-in day. Okay, so if your answer for number 22 is walk-in day, then it is correct. And since walk-in is considered 1 word here, this will be considered, the whole phrase walk-in day will be considered 2 words. So it is the correct answer here. Now let's move on to identifying writer's claim. So for this, you need to decide if the statements given are correct, incorrect, or not given. This is actually very similar to true, false, not given answers. You should be able to locate information that that's related to the statements in the passage. You should understand the opinion of the writer. If you're not able to understand what the writer is trying to say, you won't be able to decide whether the statements are correct or not, whether actually the information about the statements are given or not. If you can't find the information related to the statements, then just choose not mentioned or not given, because you won't have the time to read it over and over again, because if it's not mentioned in the passage, you won't be able to find it if you read it more than once, right? So this is a sample question. So over here, they actually ask you to find this, find whether the statements reflect the claims of the writer by reading the passage, okay? And they also define what yes is supposed to mean, what no is supposed to mean, and what not given is supposed to mean. So yes is when you think that the statement reflects the claim of the writer. No is when you think it contradicts the claims of the writer. And not given is when you can't really say whether it's correct or not because it's not mentioned in the passage. And these are 2 questions. So I've taken 2 questions from 4 to 7 because we won't be able to have the time to solve all these questions, okay? So let's go through these questions and try to highlight the key points so that we can use those highlighted points when we are reading the passage and try to find our answer, okay? So it says 30% of deaths in the United States are caused by smoking-related disease. So obviously 30% is a key point here, and it causes 30% of deaths in the US caused by smoking-related disease. So smoking-related disease would also be a key point. So keep that in your mind. Now let's look at number 5. If one partner in a marriage smokes, the other is likely to take up smoking. So over here, something about being in marriage. So this is definitely a key point, and that if one person smokes, the other one will also smoke. So likely to take up smoking is also another key point. So after highlighting, this is what it would look like. So now, when we read the passage, we would know what we should search for, and because we've already read the question, the statements, right? So it will be easier for us to find answers for these. So now you can pause the video and read this passage and try to find the answer. Again, this is not the whole passage actually, this is part of the passage, so don't expect the passage to be so small, okay? So, if you're done reading, let's read this together and try to find the answer, okay? So it says that in 1990, smoking caused more than 84,000 deaths, mainly resulting from such problems as pneumonia, bronchitis, and influenza. Smoking, it is believed, is responsible for 30% of all deaths from cancer and clearly represent the most important preventable cause of cancer in countries like the US today. So, our key point from the question was that 30% of deaths in US are caused by smoking-related diseases. here they do say that 30% of all deaths from cancer are believed to be from smoking. So they are not saying that it is definitively because of smoking. So far I would say that the first statement is not correct. Okay? Now let's keep on reading because we need to find the answer for the second one. As an illustration of health risks in the case of married couple where one partner is a smoker and one a non-smoker, the latter is believed to have 30% higher risk of death from heart disease because of passive smoking. The risk of lung cancer also increases over the years of exposure, and figure jumps to 80% if the spouse has been smoking 4 packs a day for 20 years. So our key points for the second statement was that the partner might take up smoking if they're likely to take up smoking just because their partner is a smoker. So from here, there's nothing really about that because they don't say anywhere whether or not being married to a smoker makes you feel like smoking yourself. So I guess since this is not given, the answer for the second part should be not given. So again, the fourth question, 30% of deaths in the United States are caused by smoking-related disease, and over here it says it is believed, so smoking is believed, so it's not something definite, and it also says that it's responsible for 30% of all deaths from cancer, so this is not really mentioned in the fourth one, so we can say that this fourth statement is false. So it's no, because this is a yes, no, not given answer question. So it's either no, yes, or not given. So this is no. The next one is if one partner in a marriage smokes, the other is likely to take up smoking. Again, we read this whole passage and we didn't really find any information that states that whether or not if your partner smokes, you would also start smoking. So we can say that number 5 is not given. So if you select, if you chose these answers before I gave you the answers, so you were correct. Okay, so that's it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click on the thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel, Lekhapora Online. And there are more videos coming up, so stay tuned. Thank you.